Hey everybody, I'm actually going to turn off my little fan. I don't know if it's making noise that you can hear or if not, but just in case. I am recording a very special episode. No, I'm recording a very special episode of my video series. It's a Wednesday. Usually I record videos that look like this on Monday. And Thursday, I've also started adding my Plan With Me's on Fridays, if you haven't noticed on the YouTube channel. But I thought I would go through this book. This is my bullet journal. The last time I wrote in it was a while ago. It was a pen test. It was the pen test that I did in one of my planner hauls. So, yeah, and then let's see, before that, it was 7/30/2020. So, that's quite a while for me to not write in this. But part of that is actually good news as I have gotten more clients and gotten more work. I've brought on someone to help me with my work, and if I put everything in here, that doesn't help her, so now most of my work notes go in a shared document that we can both see, which is important. So the reason I wanted to do this today is because I want to look at my goals for 2020. I kind of wanted to do that at the 6-month mark. Two people I follow on YouTube, Cindy Gunter-Baldo and Evelyn from the Internets, did videos of a similar vein. And I was not in a good place. And two, I didn't have time, honestly. So this is my 2020 brain dump for my goals. Let me see some that, what? Oh, go to Astoria. I was like, what the fuck is that? Astoria, not New York, Astoria, Oregon. Get insulation, do work you're proud of. This one is my favorite. This was no free work for white strangers. White friends, yes. White strangers, no. I don't know if this is something that white people experience, but maybe from men, I guess. White women probably get it from men. But this is a phenomenon that a lot of people of color experience all the time. Someone who happens to be white, who does not know you, will ask you to do significant labor for them. I'm not talking about getting a coffee. I'm not talking about being friends. That's normal. That's normal. And most people think this is insane. It is a specific type of person that does this to other people. And they're definitely far more likely to do it to people of color that they come across. People will email me. I've never seen them. I don't know them. I don't know you, like out of the blue, and be like, hey, will you build me an entire website, or will you do this stuff for free? Will you sell me a product that is like really valuable and part of your livelihood? Just like give it to me for free. People ask me that a non-zero amount of times. And for a second, I would be like, well, I can't do it for free, but I'll talk to you. And now I'm like, no, people who ask that are not normal. That's not a normal thing to ask. Don't entertain that shit. So if you happen to be a person of color or just a person at all and you get random emails from random people asking you for free shit, say no. Say no. It's weird. But I did a bunch of work on my goals for 2020. Because like a lot of us, I was like, 2020 is going to be my year, right? 2020 is going to be my year. It's kind of funny because 2020 has been my year in a lot of ways. And it's just, it's real weird. It's a real weird situation to be like, you know what? Shit is working out for me. Check out my word of the year, self-worth. So I wanted to go through this and just be like, what were my goals for the year? And I have a 2020 goals bookmark that you've probably seen here and there in my plan with me's. So my primary goals I do look at every day, although at this point I'm like, when's the last time I really saw it though? Like, when's the last time I really was like, this is my 2020 goals bookmark? It says, 1, prioritize mental health. 2, earn enough money for the life I want. 3, center friends and family. 4, cultivate a home that sparks joy. And then this aqua bit is all the ways I make that happen for myself. So going to therapy, going to my meetings, regular eating, enough sleep, regular work, regular rest. My brain trying to trick me. Regular rest, less work, live by my values, friends and family, boundaries, and then I added 2 more that say no to chaos and listen to my body, because there are a couple of times, especially when I start something new, especially if it's something that's healthy and good for me, like my recent working pattern, basically, there will be an agent of chaos. It's not always a person, but sometimes it is, who just comes along and is like, hey man, how would you like to engage in some chaos with me? And I see it as like the universe being like, one last chance. You don't have to be healthy today. You could go back to your sick ass behavior and fuck your life up some more. And I will just be like, you know what? No, thank you. No, thank you, chaos. Or I'll try. Sometimes I don't do that. But, so that's all the goals that I have written on here. Let me see if I'm breaking goals into tasks. 1, prioritize my mental health. Go to therapy, go to meetings, move my body, listen to my body, journal, keep to my eating goals, rest, be creative, work in my recovery. That's like, I've been doing all of that. Manage my pain, work less, live my values. Yep, I've been doing all of that. I feel really good. There's one thing on the list I didn't say that I haven't been doing, which I should probably look at that. But I've been doing very good on that. Goal number 2, earn enough money for the life I want. I had like a breakdown of how many clients I wanted. I have some number of clients. I don't have the top number of clients that I had on my, like, the most clients. But also things didn't obviously go the way I thought they were going to go this year. So I thought that I was going to have a set number of clients. They were all going to pay me the same amount of money for the same product. That's not what's happening. I have a lot more consulting gigs now. So there are some clients that have a bulky price tag attached to them and some don't. And so it's not like I just need 2 more clients, or I just need, it's not really as cut and dry as that. There's a number amount I wanted to earn per month. I have never hit that number, but I am on track to hit it potentially by the end of this year. So that's fucking bananas. That is real bananas. Right processes, yes. Do sales, yes. Do reach out, pay my taxes. Fun fact about me, I only have to pay 3rd quarter taxes this year because the first 2 quarters were so fucked up. That I didn't have to pay taxes. So I will be paying taxes come the end of this month, which is today. So I'll be paying them tomorrow. Write a sales pipeline, yep. Rest and replenish my savings. Have not been doing that, but I'm on track to do it. Have a professional network, have good boundaries, be kind to myself, do continuing education. I've done all that. That's amazing. I mean, there's some stuff, the money stuff isn't where I had put at my goal, but the year isn't over yet, and it's actually in reach, which is, that was like kind of a stretch goal. That's bananas. Make space for my friends and family. I have host 1 party per month, obviously not happening. Although actually, we've been doing, like we go to the park and we all sit apart from each other. Or we go to somebody's backyard and we all sit apart from each other. That's probably happened actually like once a month this year. And then we've also done Zoom. I've done Zoom movie parties and, a Zoom birthday party and stuff. So not bad. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Email friends, call friends, text friends. Oh my God, I've been doing so much of that. Maybe not the emailing friends, mostly calling and texting friends. Budget for social time. Yeah, I have been doing that. I wouldn't say that I like sit at the beginning of the week and I'm like, this is how many hours I'm going to spend on social, but it is my schedule and it ends up being priority. So that's cool. Check in with my people. Yes, I do that all the time. Visit people. No, didn't do any of that. Write cards. I've been writing cards. That's been good. Reach out when I think of people. I've been doing that for sure. Do cheap or free things. Been doing a lot of that. Build community. Also doing a lot of that through these videos. Have good boundaries. Yes, man. Rest. Work less. Definitely been doing a lot of that. I've been working the least I've ever worked in my life. Listen to, and some of that was bad, working the least I've ever worked in my life. Right now, I'd say it's great. It's good. I love it. I'm very happy about it because I'm still making enough money. It's amazing. Listen to people. I think I've been doing that pretty good. Uplift people. Yes, I feel very good about that. Show up. I have absolutely been doing that. I feel really good about that. 4, cultivate a home that sparks joy. KonMari our guest room. I mean, I have KonMari'd a lot of the things that are in the guest room now. And also KonMari, you're not supposed to do it room by room, so I don't even know why I put that. KonMari jewelry. Haven't done that. KonMari planner stuff. Haven't done that. Is that a video you guys want to see? I could do that on video. I also want to test all my pens. There's a bunch that aren't working anymore. Give stuff away. Done that for real. Get insulation in the house. Done that. Do landscaping. We've done a lot of that actually. Keep our maids because I knew that I was going to be quitting my full-time job and I wanted to be able to continue to pay our house cleaners, which has also happened. Rest. Yes. Paint bedroom. That's done. Call. Oh, I had a bookshelf on my porch that I needed to get rid of and I did. Repaint the bathroom. Have not done that. We got some plumbing done and there's a patch that I need to put paint on, but I haven't done it. Finish the floor in the dad palace. That's what we used to call my office because both of our dads are allergic to cats. So this room was going to be my office / a guest room for our dads, which no one has stayed in here because COVID, but that's the point. That's the plan. Paint the dad palace and move office to dad palace. Done. Actually, that's not true. This wall behind me is painted and several feet in the adjacent walls. But I'll just turn you around real quick. See, paint, paint, paint. Not paint. So, that's got to be fixed or done some more of. Paint cabinets, haven't done that. Hang art, I've done a lot of that, but I have some more to do because I've also got more art during this year. Find book solution. We have more books than we have bookshelves, and I have this fantasy that once we go through all our movies and video games and realize that the vast majority of those things we don't watch and don't spark joy for us, that'll free up a bunch of shelf space and then we can put the books on that. But then there's still the other problem that in sort of like KonMari, which is like she's my like guiding star of like household management. In the KonMari system, you're never supposed to have things apart from each other. And our house is so small that we can't keep all of our books in the same room unless it's the living room, which we could actually, if we just did not have a couch in the living room at all, which technically we actually don't have a couch in the living room right now because it was old and so we donated it. Also, we didn't ever sit on it. And I was just like, I can't stare at this empty couch. No friends are coming over for the foreseeable future. Like, this is depressing me. So I donated the couch. Someone else can have a couch. But anyway, now that we don't have a couch in the living room, I can just maybe line one living room wall with bookshelves. That would be kind of cool. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. There's a lot of exciting possibilities here. Clean more. I have been cleaning more. Do laundry. I don't know why this is on there. I always do laundry. I guess it means like stay on top of the laundry. Work on planner. Definitely done a ton of planner work. And then this other one says fix heating ducts. Our heating duct system in our house is functional, but not well. It doesn't function well. So I wanted to be able to fix it, but now we're talking about, instead of fixing it, just replacing a whole system with a heat pump system, which is way more ecologically sort of like good for the world. And then the heat pump system would also be like a cooling system in the winter. And then we could take this like massive heating unit out of our attic and potentially have like more room in our house for like probably not a person, but like storage maybe. So anyway, that's that. Those are all the things I wanted to do. Those were all my goals. And I feel really good about them. I'm really, that is, that's really nice. That makes me feel really good. That I set these goals and that they were really focused on internal shit, and they were focused on things I could control, and they were focused on what was really important to me. And that was, am I living my values? Do I feel good about the work I'm doing? Am I taking good care of myself? Am I showing up for my friends and my family? And the one big thing that 2020 took away from me in that regard is that I can't be physically present for people. I have compromised lung function. I also have another, it's not an autoimmune disease, but it is an immune disease that would not be good if I got COVID. So I've been really, 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 really careful about my body and my health and where I am and who I'm with and how we are together. And so that's been really hard. Not being able to travel and visit people. We actually had booked and paid for 2 fairly significant trips to visit family over the course of 2020 and had to cancel both of those, which really fucking blows. And then also, one of the things that my family has done is we have a weekly Zoom call that we're on. And I feel closer to some of the people, to the important people in my life. I feel closer to them this year than I have previous years, even though I was able to go and visit them, or even though we could have hung out. Like, a lot of the previous years of my career I've spent overworking and over freaking out about work. And so even when people did see me, what they heard from me or what they got from me when I talked to them was like, well, and then this guy's doing this thing, and this guy's doing this thing, and this is happening, and I don't like this, and blah, 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 and I'm so worried about this, and there's huge consequences, and blah, blah, blah. And I had one thing that I cared about, and that was work. And I'm not saying that like, oh, poor me, it was horrible. Like, my friends still liked me. I was still like a cool person to hang out with. But it was clear that there was really like a shining star in my life, and it wasn't them and it wasn't me. It was my job. And even when my job was going well, it was still, my job was 100% of my focus. And I'm not saying that that's wrong or that there's anything wrong about that. Having priorities in life is important. What I'm saying for me is that I get a lot of joy from work, and I really, really love my job. And also, my job always came first before everything else. My job always came first before me and my needs. And that's really where I messed up in terms of how it was working. And this year, I was just like, that's not going to happen anymore. I'd gone through some experiences at my last 2 jobs before I started this company where I just was like, if I make my job this big and me this big, people are going to come along and they're going to treat me like I'm this big. And they did. And because they were bosses, I let them. And that was the big mistake for me with work, is that I made my work so much bigger than me, and I wasn't the same size in my heart. I didn't have the same worth as a job did. And as a result of that power dynamic, I let a lot of shit go on that was not okay. As a manager, I let shit go on around me that was not okay, because I was told that if I wanted to have an opinion on that, it was going to cost me my job. And eventually I just was like, I don't care if it does. I don't care if it does. I'm gonna speak up, and I'm gonna talk about what's important to me, and I'm not gonna back down about it. And eventually, it was like, well, if this is gonna continue, I can't be here. And it got to the point at both of those jobs where I was like, oh, okay, I can't be here. I have to leave. I have to go somewhere where my values are reflected. And the problem was that I had trouble living my values at work because I didn't show up as valuable as I was. I didn't show up big in that space. I didn't show up the way I want to and the way I need to. I didn't show up with self-worth. So 2020 has been big for that. It's been big for me being like, having the opportunity to be scared because of the pandemic and because of the loss of business that we experienced at the beginning of the pandemic. I had the opportunity to absolutely freak out and be like, you know what? No, never mind. I'm going to be small again. I promise I will never try to find my value. I swear. I will just go back into that hole and just do whatever you want and pay lip service to whatever you want. And I just was like, you know what? No, it is not okay to treat me or other people poorly. It's not okay to underpay or undervalue valuable workers. It's not okay to have racist hiring and promoting policies. It's not okay to administer to some projects and workers in one way and some in another. It's just not cool, and I'm not okay with it. And so I'm never going to work for anyone that does that shit ever again. And I don't care if that means that we have some lean months. And I don't care if that means that I don't get to do this work anymore, which it hasn't, by the way. In fact, I'm doing way more of that work than I was ever doing before. It was just kind of this situation where I was like, I would rather end this. I would rather go do something else than do it in this way again. I cannot fathom that. And I think because I just got to that point where I was done making excuses for myself, first of all, for why I let certain things happen and why I saw certain things happening and didn't do something in the moment. I was done making excuses, and so I just was like, no. And it reminds me a lot of when I was a kid. I was living with my mom, and she was sober at the time. She'd stopped using drugs, but she did not treat her mental illness. And so as a result of that, eventually, one thing happened after another, and she was back on drugs. And it was really hard. And she was getting more and more violent in the household. Started with like hitting things, throwing things, and then she was like putting her hands on me, and I had to come to sort of like a moment where I was like, okay, this is abuse and I have to leave. And she had treated me so badly up until that point, and she told me, if you leave, if you walk out that door, you're gonna die. And I remember taking the last box out of our apartment to move out, and I had it in my hands, and I was thinking about how she had told me that if I left her, I would die. And I just thought, okay. If I die, I die, I'm not going to live like this anymore. So I'd rather die a free person than live under this condition. And that's kind of how it got to me with my career, where it was like, if this is the end of my career, if this is the end of this, I would rather end this career than ever go back to half measures and not seeing my worth and not standing up for myself or others. And you know what? Both cases, I'm fine. Things turned out great for me so far. So that's a surprisingly uplifting view of my 2020 goals. Have a good day.